Reach high, aim high, and obtain.
Welcome to TaylorIt. Today I'm going to show you my version of Dr. William Davis's Reuteri yogurt. And I have tried other Reuteris, but I actually found his, and this is the company name here at the top. I have found his to be the best. I've tried others. I did not like the results. I tried his and it's turned out just phenomenal every time. And I can feel the benefits in the health. The other thing we're going to be using, which is different from his recipe, is we're going to be using heavy cream. And we're going to also use the prebiotic that I'm using for this recipe, in case you were trying to figure out which kind of prebiotic.
Prebio plus, right?
I believe so, yes. Or at least if you put it in there or you do cutting egg cultures, you know, that's why I wanted to show you the bag untouched, because that will help you visually if this is the one that you want to also use. Chicory root is also a great source, but I found a lot of chicory roots, they tend to have been processed to be a coffee replacement. So be a little bit careful with the chicory root if you go that route. So we begin by adding a tablespoon of this prebiotic fiber to our container. And I purposely am using a glass container that is also a measuring cup. I love this thing. This is actually considered an 8-cup measuring cup, which is perfect because we're going to end up doing about 6 cups of product when we do this. And it also makes it easier to put it into the fermenting vessels. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add, I know some people say add the probiotic after making the slurry of this, but I have found the inulin becomes hardened when you start adding the liquid to it. So I've learned that if I put the probiotic with the prebiotic, so they're both powders, and I stir them together first, it helps mix the prebiotic with the probiotic. A lot of P's there. And it makes it so it's not so hardening, in my opinion, when I start adding the liquid, because the probiotic actually helps break up the hardening of the prebiotic fiber, or the inulin, because it's called both when you start adding. So I'm just going to do a little bit at a time, because I want to make sure that I make what's called the slurry without the fiber that feeds our culture hardening. So that's why when I start out, I do just a little bit at a time. Now this is the approach that you would do if you're making this yogurt potentially for the first time, because you have to get your culture started. Now once you get your culture started and you've done your first batch, that's when you can take, with his culture I have found, because again I tried others, with his I can take the 2 tablespoons from the prior batch and I can add my prebiotic fiber to it, and it comes out perfectly. So I'm not having to constantly inoculate with his version, which is fabulous. With other versions I found I had to re-inoculate with a new culture every single time I was making the yogurt to get the benefits I found.
And so that's an extra cost saving.
Exactly. So it's the 1 capsule and you're pretty much ready to go because of the way he's done it. And I have found actually over time, I think the culture has gotten stronger in a good way because I've been feeding it well. And when I do the, like I said, starting from 2 tablespoons of the prior batch, that means I'm doing also 2 tablespoons of the inulin fiber when I do it, because I do a match to match of the culture is how I do it. So if I do 2 tablespoons of the inulin prebiotic fiber, that means I'm doing 2 tablespoons of the culture, because I want to make sure I'm keeping my culture well fed. Now you can do 1 and then the 2 tablespoons, but I just like to make sure I'm doing a balance of it. Now what you can also do is 1 tablespoon of the prebiotic fiber. Oh, see, I'm not feeling the graininess now because I've got it well mixed. See, if I rotate it to the side, see that? You can see that it's not got the fiber stuck to the side. So now I know I'm good to start actually adding in bulk the remainder of this heavy cream. And what we'll end up getting is about 6 cups altogether of resulting product. And this is also considered about 1.5 quarts of product. Now the reason I am doing the heavy cream, because you may be like, his recipe is half and half. It could be it's the product in our area, but we also like being as healthy as possible with the products available to us. And in our area, we just found that the half and half didn't work. The milk, the quality just didn't come out like we wanted. But we found that when
we had a lot of liquid left over,
yeah, I mean,
instead of yogurt.
I felt more like I was making a kefir that had over fermented because it had so much water to it that I was literally straining to get my yogurt, which was absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. Now I am being a bit gentle here because I am wanting to, like he said, Reuteri is very temperamental. It's very much of a culture that requires gentle coaxing and loving on it. So you just want to, and in case you're wondering to where I got this slotted spoon, so it kind of is doing a stir for me in the middle. I found this in an Oxiceutics, OXO brand, and it's an unglazed wooden spoon, so I don't have to worry about waxes and stuff. And they actually say that on their product page, how this brand, they made sure that they didn't put any kind of coating or anything on the wood, so it's the raw wood that you're working with. Okay, so I think we're good now to go put this in our yogurt maker. So we're gonna step over here to the side. You can tell we like our Reuteri yogurt. We've got a yogurt sitter here going on. Dad actually made this for us, and we actually put rubber feet on the bottom, so see here, it won't move. And that is so that we can literally do 2 batches at the same time, is how much we are loving this yogurt. I mean, that tells you something if we bought 2. But we are seeing the health benefits. And I will also have other videos. And what it is, it's going to end up being about 3 cups. And I like to mix it. But it's about 3 cups per, let's see. Yeah, just a little bit more and more at 3. But it ends up being about 3 cups per container here, and I like to stir it as I'm doing it to make sure that the culture isn't settling in one area. Okay, I'm just gonna add that little bit over here so that I wanna make them as balanced as possible. Kind of scrape down the bottom there. And there we go. You can see that's pretty even. Okay. And then to keep them clean and in healthy condition, putting the lids on. And I do lift it up and press down so it prevents any, it reduces, I should say, the condensation in my opinion and potential contamination by getting rid of the air. So I just lift up the corner, press down the middle. And what happens is then as it heats, it's kind of like a vacuum seal in my opinion doing that. Now what we're gonna do is add it's about 4 cups of filtered water. So now we're gonna add our water.
How much water is there?
It's gonna end up being a little bit less than 4 cups, but the main focus is you're looking for the water to match the yogurt line, your tallest yogurt line. So you just keep adding. And there we go. See how it's right at the yogurt line for the tallest one? And you can see I did fill it to 4 cups, but I usually end up having less, like maybe 1/4 of a cup remaining, if that. but you just want to make sure you have a container that's going to be able to hold enough water so you're not constantly going back and forth. So that's why I like having a 4-cup measuring cup and then my 8-cup measuring cup by Pyrex. Although my 8-cup measuring cup is not Pyrex. I think it's Anchor is the brand, is where I got it from, and it comes with a lid. Okay, now I have, a 1 and a 2 numbered container here because with 2, I've got 2 plugins, and I wanted to make sure that when I did them at the same time or close to the same time, I didn't accidentally unplug the wrong one. So I've also got these labels that I put on to also match and correspond to the container. So if you're like me and you end up finding you really like your Reuteri yogurt and what you can do with it, you might want to, because that way you can get enough doing this. Okay, so we're going to start with setting the temp, and we'll do the minus sign and get down to 99. Then we'll hit the start set number, and then
99 is for 99 degrees.
Yes, it's because we just set the temp because we got to do 99 degrees. And then according to this approach, you're supposed to do 36 hours. And I did minus. You can do plus, but I found if you do minus, it starts at the highest number, which is in the 40s, and then it counts down, so it's quicker than constantly plussing or holding it down and it just taking forever to get there. And then we just hit start. And now we're going to let it do its thing for 36 hours. So 36 hours from now, this will be done, and we'll take it off. So it's been our 36 hours, and our timer is finished. So I'll unplug it, bring it down here from our yogurt station, and I'm lifting it up and away so that the water goes into the main basin there. And I'm just going to wipe the top. And this is the fresh batch with the capsule of Reuteri. And now that we've finished the first steps, what we need to do after I wipe these dry is we are going to place them in the fridge. Place them in the fridge for them to cool, because right now, even because of the heat, it is more in a liquid form. It becomes more thickened and into more of a yogurt type consistency. So I'm going to place this in the fridge and put this in there real quick so we can cool and get it thickened for consumption. And then what we'll do is I will show you tomorrow, because that's with the Reuteri first go with the capsule, so you can see how it affects you if you decide to do this route. And then I'm going to quickly pour this water out, and what I'm doing is I'm quickly clean and dry the inside, because I want to keep it pristine so that I can easily do the next batch as things come along. So I make sure I clean the inside thoroughly and then dry it, so that when we go to do our next batch, I'm already ready to go with a container. And dry the top here. And then what'll happen is, because I purposely also bought backup containers for these, is it gives me the opportunity, like I have down here, it's not processing, but you can see I've got a set ready to go for whenever I want to make my next batch of yogurt, or Reuteri yogurt, I should say. It's not the traditional sense of yogurt, so that we have an easy turnaround and we're always with Reuteri on hand that we can use to consume. And then I can just put that up there for our center, and then I'll just refill it later with the clean containers that I have that are extra. And then we'll just do next steps with the yogurt having been thickened, and then from the thickening I'll show you how you can create your second batch. It's been about 8 hours since we took it off of the yogurt maker and put it in the fridge, so I thought it'd be good to kind of show you how it looks like after about 8 hours. You can see it's got a little bit of water on top. That's just from the condensation a little bit on the lid. And you can see it's not moving, which is great. That's what I like, because I like a good Greek yogurt. And you can see here, as I press down, it gives it like a little bit of a crust, not bad. But what happens is as you press down, you can see it's like a Greek yogurt. It's very thick, very gelatinous. And I like it because there isn't as much separation. There is a little bit, because you can see that whiter color there at the bottom. That's where a lot of the water drained to that was in the cream. And all I'm doing is stirring this up. That's the first thing I do when I bring it out of the fridge, is I stir this to get rid of the crust top and make sure that there is no separation of the liquids, and make sure it's well mixed. Now, if I let this sit for a little bit, it'll actually thicken even more over time, which I love. I absolutely love that. But I want to make sure I mention to you step 101. As soon as it's gotten thicker, as soon as it's been in the fridge and it's gotten thicker after you've taken it off, 101, take a tablespoon and get your tablespoons out for your next couple batches. Because if you don't, if it's like the people at my house, they really, really, really love this Reuteri. And if you haven't taken the time to get a few tablespoons out here, I usually like to do 4 to 6, because it doesn't hurt if you put more in your next batch. Let's say at least 4, and then give it just a little extra topping there. Then you won't have your starter potentially for your next batch. That's the big caveat. So now people can have at my Reuteri container and enjoy it, but I say, nope, you have to leave this container alone, and that way you've already got your ready-made starter for your next batch.